Good evening. My name is Kevin Arnold, and we'd like to welcome you to Focus on San Francisco today. I know you guys have wondered where we've been. I've been out of the studio for a while. I've been doing a lot of filming outside. I hope that everybody had an opportunity to watch our series on the status of homelessness in San Francisco that appeared on 76 Channel 76 on Monday. We talked about some of the issues that homeless people are facing in San Francisco. It was a very good series, and we're going to bring it on again. And we want you guys to have a chance to watch it. Hopefully, we'll get that series back on probably sometime next week. It's a show that's an hour and a half. We talked about the number of homeless folks that are living on San Francisco streets and the issues that they're facing. And we also talked about from different nonprofits, they talked about what was going on with the homeless population. And we also talked about Proposition C. Now, Proposition C was actually yesterday, it was approved by 60% of the voters. And so that means that at this point, it's going to move forward. Now, there is a question about whether or not it got two-thirds of the vote. And if it didn't get two-thirds of the vote, then there may be some legal challenges. But talking to various people that were involved in Proposition C, they feel like it's going to meet all the legal challenges and it's going to be able to go into effect. Now, let's talk a little bit about Proposition C so those folks that approved it can understand what it does. Proposition C does three different things. Number one, it provides 1,000 new shelter beds for the homeless population in San Francisco. Number two, it provides 4,000 new affordable housing units for a homeless population in San Francisco. And number three, it provides preventive care for those people that got mental problems, people that have drug addiction, and things of that nature. So we want you to stay in contact with that and be aware of that. Now, there were some politicians that opposed Proposition C. We're not going to go in to mention them because the voters approved it. But what we want to talk about right now is we had an opportunity to have election yesterday, and we elected some new elected officials. Now, we elected a new governor yesterday to the governorship of California. Gavin Newsom was elected new governor of California. So we want to commend Governor-elect Newsom for being elected as the new governor of California. We also elected a new lieutenant governor. We elected a new lieutenant governor yesterday, and so we want to congratulate the new lieutenant governor who was elected yesterday. And that person's name is Elena Kohakis. I may not be saying her name right, but she was elected as new lieutenant governor. We elected a new secretary. Well, we reelected the new Secretary of State, Alice Padilla. So that person was reelected to office again. We also we reelected reelected 4 different commissioners, a board of supervisors, and we just want to talk about the board of supervisors because you elected these new supervisors and they're going to be taking office in January, and so that was very exciting. So we look forward to these new supervisors being elected, and the different districts that we elected these supervisors in. We want to talk a little bit about that because one of the supervisors that you sent back was Catherine Safani. You elected her back in District 2. Then Gordon Marr was leading in District 4. So it looks like he's going to be reelected. He's going to be elected to that seat. In District 6, you elected Matt Haney. Matt Haney, he's a new supervisor, and he's going to be in District 6. And in District 8, you elected Rafael Mandel, and so he's going to be the new district supervisor and new supervisor in District 8. And then Sherman Walton was leading, so you elected him. We want to thank the voters because they really got out and they participated in voting. You know, and what was so important about the voting that I was actually down at the Department of Elections last night, and so I had an opportunity to spend some time there, and I want to thank John Arnaz for allowing me to become there and watch the voting process take place. So what we saw so many voters coming through. We saw young voters, we saw older voters, we saw females, we saw males, we saw Afro-American community, we saw the Asian community, we saw the Chinese community. They participated in the voting process. So it was just exciting to see that taking place. So, you know, we just want to commend the voters that got out and voted. We also want to commend all the volunteers that worked on the different campaigns that supported the various candidates. Now, we know that all the candidates did not win, but there were some that did win, and we want to commend all those Board of Supervisors that won into the office that they were running for. Now, there was a number of propositions that were on the ballot last night. Proposition A passed handily. Proposition A is the Embarcadero seawall. So the voters, they voted that handily. So, you know, that was a proposition to make sure that the upgrade on the Embarcadero seawall. There was a number of other issues that were talked about, but we want to talk about the state treasurer. You elected Fana Ma as your state treasurer again. She received 85.92% of the vote, which means that she got 192,159 votes. She defeated Greg Colin, and he got 31,483 votes, and he received 14.8% of the vote. So, you know, those were some other candidates that got elected. You elected a new insurance commissioner, Ricardo Lara. He received 68.77% of the vote, and he received 587,000 votes. So, and he defeated Stephen Pizzana, and Stephen received 67 and 33 votes, and he got 31% of the vote, 31.23% of the vote. So what we saw voters in action. We saw voting participate in the process. We saw people got reelected, and some people that new candidates got elected. Now, we want to talk a little bit about, there are some other candidates that won on the national level. U.S. Senator Dianne Feinstein, she was reelected with 65.05% of the vote. Senator Feinstein actually received about 144,766 votes. So she was reelected to her position. She defeated Kevin DeLeon. Kevin received 77,791 votes, and he got 34.95% of the vote. So he was defeated. And we want to just congratulate Representative Nancy Pelosi. Representative Nancy Pelosi She received 172,172 votes, and she received 85.74% of the vote. Now, why it's important is Representative Pelosi is in line to become the Speaker once again. As you know, the U.S. House of Representatives became Democratic again. So that was very exciting to see that, because it will serve as a check and balance on the President of the United States, Mr. Donald Trump. So we look forward to seeing the Democrats again be the majority in the U.S. House of Representatives. So we were very excited about that, and we want to commend Representative Pelosi for getting reelected, and we look forward for Representative Pelosi to become the next Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives. We also reelected Democratic Jackie Speier. Jackie got 19,883 votes, and she got 81% of the vote. So we was very excited to see Jackie get back reelected. And we also saw that Representative Christine Osma, she opposed Jackie, but she got like 4,628 votes, and she got like 18.88% of the vote. So it was exciting to see. We are sending some of our folks back that ran for election back to office, and the good thing about it, we elected Democrats. And that's what I'm excited about. We elected Democrats. So I'm excited about the number of new Democrats, particularly female Democrats, that got reelected to office all over the country. And so that was exciting. Now we want to talk a little bit about the state assembly in District 17. Democratic David Chu got reelected. He got 76.62% of the vote. He received 91,386 votes. So David Chu is going back as the District 17 state assemblyman. And he was opposed by Alexandra Fernandez. And Alexandra Fernandez, he received 27,892 votes, and he got 23.38% of the vote. So as you see, his opponent, he made a showing. And then in State Assembly District 19, we reelected Phil Ting, and he's got 4,401 votes, 82.78% of the vote. And he was opposed by Representative Keith Bargan, and Keith got 16,308 votes. He's got 17.22% of the vote. So we saw a lot of activity come on. People that were running against other candidates, although they didn't win, they did show that they were really trying to get elected. Now let's talk about some of the local ballots in San Francisco. Proposition 10 was defeated. Now what Proposition 10 was, it would allow cities to expand rent control. And that proposition was defeated by 65% of the voters voted against it, and 35% of the voters supported it. And what Proposition 10 was, the attempt, what it was trying to do was to make sure that rent control could be put in California. Because as you know, in San Francisco, the rents are at astronomical prices. And a lot of people can't afford to live there because the rent is so high. Well, that was defeated. We were very disappointed about that, because the property owners, they raised a lot of money to defeat this, and so it was defeated, and so that was disappointing. Proposition C, I want to come back to Proposition C, and I want to commend all the nonprofits that got out there. They organized. They got out there, and they brought all these groups together, and they supported it, and it was a big winner. So I think they can be happy. People like the homeless coalition that was very involved in it. People like Got Lied and other nonprofits that were supporting. I mean, there were so many groups that were supporting this, and so they got 60% of the vote, and so it was voted by 60% of the voters to be approved. There is a question whether or not it met 2/3 of the vote. And I think it's going to move forward because one of the major movers and shakers behind Proposition C was Salesforce. So we want to commend the chairman of Salesforce for getting involved and showing leadership on Proposition C, because Proposition C is going to do a lot of good. It's going, we got something like, if you talk to different nonprofit people that work with the homeless population, they're saying that San Francisco has close to 22,000 homeless folks in San Francisco. And a lot of these folks are living on the street, ain't got nowhere to live. The United Nations recently said San Francisco's homeless problems is inhumane. Said it is inhumane how homeless folks in San Francisco are living. We got to do more to deal with our homeless crisis in San Francisco. Now, Proposition C is going to raise about close to $300 million, and it's going to help these folk get housing, get services. There's going to be 4,000 units of affordable housing created for homeless folks that are living on the street. Folks, we are a better city than this. We can do more to help our homeless population. This is a good start. Is it the end or the cure-all to everything that we're trying to do with homeless people? No, it's not that. But it does provide an opportunity for us to address this serious problem. Now, with the new Board of Supervisors, with them going on, now you got what they call, in January, which you're going to have like a super majority on the board. And these super majority means that the mayor and the board all got to work together, because the mayor is going to need their support and they're going to need the mayor's support. So we hope that the new members of the Board of Supervisors and the ones that are going back work together to make sure that this is a problem that we address collectively together to solve this problem. Because the problem cannot be solved if the mayor and the Board of Supervisors are not willing to try to work together. They're not going to agree on everything, but they can agree to solve the problem. So I hope that Mayor Breed and the Board of Supervisors look at what's best for the community. What is best for the San Francisco community. So I hope that they work together. And we're going to keep you abreast on this issue, because these are very important issues. We got all these homeless folks with mental illness. You walk down the street and you see them all day long. They're talking to themselves. They don't know what's going on. And we need to put them in a place where they can get help. And now with the passing of Proposition C, they're going to be able to get the kind of help they do. Now, I got a couple of more minutes. And we want to, again, thank all the voters for getting out and voting. Our next program is going to air on December the 5th, because we're going to be closed for Thanksgiving. We want everybody to have a nice Thanksgiving. We want you to come back on Channel 76 on Focus on San Francisco. Again, my name is Kevin Arnold. I'm the host of the show. And we want to thank you for tuning in and watching the program and being involved. The goal of the program is three things: to educate, to inform, and to enlighten the community. So we want you to come back and watch, make sure you come back and on December the 5th, watch the program, Tune into us. It is a live program. You can also email us at focusonsanfrancisco@gmail.com. If you got any questions, if you want to know anything about the program, we're going to have exciting guests for the rest of the end of the year. We're looking for next year. We're going to have an exciting program for next year. So please come back and enjoy the program. And we want to wish everybody a wonderful Thanksgiving and enjoy it with your family. And we look forward to seeing you again on December the 5th at 5:30 on Channel 76 at bayback.org. And it's been my pleasure to host this program. I hope that you got something out of it. So I look forward to that.